R for resistance, C for capacitance. So whenever there is a resistance as well as capacitance along with some battery EMF in series, we are talking about those circuits, means DC RC circuits, we can say, in which only battery will be there, alternating current will not be there. Few things that we should remember about these RC circuits, few points, then you can solve almost any RC circuit after that. One method I have already told you, that capacitor, if it is charged, it acts like a, how does the charge capacitor act like?
Uncharged capacitor in series with the battery with the same
In series with
potential.
a battery, like this it acts. If it has
Same
potential difference D,
difference.
same
Q.
potential difference, capacitance C, capacitance C. It is uncharged, that we can do. But because the charge is continuously changing, so don't treat it like a battery of constant voltage. The voltage will also be continuously changing in the process of charging or discharging. As a result, it is like a variable battery. We should keep in mind that this is not like a constant battery. This is like a variable battery. Okay, it changes. This arrow is a symbol to represent this variability, that it is varying. So these are equivalent diagrams. If it is uncharged capacitor, then how will it behave like for that moment as long as it is uncharged? If it is uncharged, it will behave like
Zero potential capacitor.
yes, zero potential battery. You are right. That also we can get from here only. But zero potential battery is like a short circuit only.
Yes, sir,
You
no
understand
charge.
that or not? Uncharged capacitor acts like a short circuit. It acts like a short circuit. What we mean by short circuit? Just we can say conducting wire. And here I have to mention something first. Then only you can understand it. In transient state. Transient state is opposite of steady state. Steady state is state of constancy or not. You know already, we have discussed steady state several times. Steady state means when something remains constant, when something does not change, that is steady state. Or transient is just opposite of that, when things are changing. What things are changing in this case? In this case, any element of the any element of the circuit may be changing. For example, sometimes potential difference may be changing, resistance may be changing, capacitance may be changing, or the current flowing through the capacitance may be changing, or the charge stored in the capacitor may be changing. So when the charge stored in the capacitor does not remain constant with time, or when the current flows through the capacitor, then definitely there is a steady state. Even if a constant current flows through the capacitor, then also there is a steady state. Understand it, because current is constant. But when the current will be constant, then charge will not be constant. Charge will be, how the charge will be varying if current is constant? Charge as a function of time, it will be varying like this. So because charge is varying, therefore it will not be steady state. So steady state means a transient state means state of variability, when things are changing. What things are changing? Transient state means
Charge on capacitor.
Transient state means when charge on capacitor is changing. When charge on capacitor is changing with time. Now, steady state means when state of constancy, when nothing changes. When charge on capacitor remains constant with time. In steady state, capacitor behaves like open circuit. Okay. In steady state, capacitor behaves like an open circuit. And in transient state, capacitor behaves like battery or cell. Okay. Cell if charged, and just like conducting wire
if uncharged.
if uncharged. Whatever I have discussed before here, this one acts like a short circuit in the transient state. It is right only. And how the charge capacitor behaves, this one we used to discuss till now also. You know already about this, right? But now here one more thing I have added, that this capacitor I can just replace by a conducting wire. I can take a charge capacitor and I can make it behave just like a battery only. And this capacitor is just like a conducting wire. We don't even have to worry about it. It is just like a conducting wire. That additional thing I have told you here. Okay, in RC circuits, how it behaves. In RC circuits, it just behaves like a.
We say battery or variable.
Just battery. And what is the EMF of that battery? Obviously, that EMF of that battery, which is the potential difference across the capacitor. Okay. So these points, if you remember, then I think you know everything about RC circuits mainly. Steady state, capacitor behaves like open circuit. And in transient state, capacitor behaves like a cell if charged, and conducting wire if uncharged. In this open circuit also you can write here cell also, no problem in that. If I write in open circuit, it is acting like a cell of EMF, which is equal to the potential difference across the capacitor. Then also it is same thing. You will come to know when I will be giving you some examples why open circuit is also equivalent to battery. It will be same, no difference at all. Okay. But I will tell you how. Now, let us start examples. One RC circuit I will be drawing here. Resistance, capacitance, and battery RC. First of all, how do we know it is a steady state or it is a transient state? How do we know the charge is changing or not changing on the capacitor? Very simple idea. Initially, capacitor is uncharged. If I just close the switch now only, then obviously it will start charging. And if it is in the process of charging, then definitely it will be transient state. It will be transient state, changing state. But when it will be completely charged after sufficient enough time, we will discuss what is that sufficient enough time meaning. But let us say sufficient time has elapsed and it is already fully charged. Then it is now steady state, because now the charge is not changing with time. Then it is a steady state. So how, when the steady state will be disturbed and when the transient state will start? Yeah, here I am writing a point about that. Steady state gets disturbed, steady state gets disturbed and changes into and is likely to change into transient state, is likely to change into transient state if any changes are made in the steady state gets disturbed and is likely to change into transient state if any changes are made in the circuit. What changes those could be? Changes could be
Removing
the
battery and connecting to
the changes, yes, right. The changes could be removing battery, or we can say opening and closing of switch. That is, effect of opening and closing of switches same as removal or addition of battery. Closing of switch, most common is this thing, but other things are also possible. For example, changing resistance. I could have a rheostat. Rheostat is like a variable resistance. Changing resistances or adding resistance. If I add resistance in between by some mechanism, changing resistance, changing capacitance. How to change capacitance? You know how to change? Tell me how to change the capacitance.
By moving
Changing
the
the
plates,
distance
sir.
between the plates.
Yes, by changing the distance between the plates. This is the one possibility. Another possibility, I can change
By
area.
adding dielectrics, sir.
Yes, that is third possibility. Very nice. I can add dielectric, then also capacitance changes. I can change area. Area, how to change? There is a mechanism for that. If I have one plate here like this and second plate here like this, if I shift one plate parallel to the other like this here, then overlapping area will decrease. So capacitance depends on this overlapping area. If overlapping area is decreasing, ultimately it is the effect of decreasing the capacitance. Okay. So we have ways to change the capacitance. We have ways to change the resistance by rheostat. We have ways to add additional resistance. How to add additional resistance? That I have to have some mechanism of some switch. Suddenly switch will be changing from one position to the other position and resistance will get added, or it can get removed, or I can short circuit. For example, see this resistance here. If I close the switch, what happens? This will get short circuited. Okay. So then resistance is changed. So I have ways to change the resistance. I have ways to change the capacitance. I have ways to change the potential difference. I have ways to introduce a battery or opening and closing of switch. All of these things, any of these things will be resulting in what it will be resulting in disturbing of steady state and moving to transient state. And as soon as we move into the transient state, don't start treating capacitor as open circuit. Open circuit means no current is flowing through it. And we know in steady state, no current flow, right? Why does it behave like a capacitor behave like open circuit in steady state? Because
It won't take any
Completely
charge.
charged, sir.
Completely
because no
charged.
current flows through it. Why no current flows through it?
charge it
It
fully.
is fully charged.
Because charge remains constant, not fully charged. Oh, you are again misunderstanding the steady state. There is nothing like fully charged. It may be discharged completely. Because no current flows through. Mainly this thing, no current flows through capacitor. Mainly that is a thing. If no current is flowing, now you may ask me, sir, why no current flows through the capacitor at that time? What happens? Actually, the point is, what is the definition of steady state? When the charge on the capacitor remains constant with time, it cannot change. If charge remains constant, then dq by dt will automatically become 0. So I could say steady state is a state which implies current is 0 through the capacitor. So the definition itself implies that the current should not be changing through the capacitor. Okay, understood?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, why I said that we don't have this concept of fully charged. There is nothing like fully charging. I charge it now and I add additional battery, then that fully charged, which was the full charge according to V, now it will be now less charge according to 2V. Then it has to charge further. So we can never say now capacitor is fully charged and it cannot get charged anymore. I can change the potential difference and it can still be charged, right?
Yes.
Now, changes. Okay, you understood this part. Next. So let us take a simple. No, I have here two possibilities. One way to go about the lecture is solving everything properly, deriving everything carefully, and then telling you the how we solve it further. Another possibility, if I do it sometimes, and I have observed, I think before also while I was taking the classes, that I will be directly telling you the key results, because those results are so simple that you can start solving the problems just after listening to maybe 10 minutes of the class now onwards. If you listen to the 10 minutes of class, you can start solving any problem of RC circuit. This is one way. Another is I can slowly start deriving. So I'm skipping that way of slowly deriving. I'm directly telling you how to get the results. After that, I will derive. Don't worry, I will derive. I will carefully derive, because careful derivation is important. When those methods will fail, then careful derivation only will be working. Okay. So I will tell you also when those methods will fail. I will tell you everything. So let us now start getting to the results. What I need to I will directly plot the graphs of RC circuits. When RC circuits are given, let us say I have to find out Q versus T graph. When this after switch is closed at what time? T equal to T naught. Let us say, although mostly they say it is closed at T equal to 0, but I am telling you it is closed at T equal to T naught. Okay. So before T equal to T naught, what will happen? Okay, or wait a second, I think no need to unnecessarily complicate that. I will take later on. Now I'm just taking it T equal to 0. At T equal to 0, if it is closed, it will start getting charge, right?
Yes, sir.
It will start getting charge. Let us say the final charge that it acquires is, what final charge it would acquire? Tell me. After a long time.
CV, sir.
Very good ideas. Why it will be CV? Reason also.
Maximum capacity.
In the potential
V, as I know in steady
Mhm.
state, I becomes 0. So after a long time, when the steady state is reached, then charging is full. Now I will become 0. If I become 0, then I into R will become 0. I can add one more thing, I think. What I said before, capacitor behaves like open circuit in steady state. I can say along with it, resistance in series with capacitors. Resistance in series with capacitors. In series with capacitor behaves like, how does it behave like?
Why?
Conducting one.
Conducting wire. Behaves like conducting wire only. Why it behaves like conducting wire? Because I into our potential difference across
No
that is
current passes.
no current passes, potential difference is 0. So this will be just like a conducting wire. I can just make it like a conducting wire only here, no problem. Then it will be plus minus CV charge. CV charge. The graph will be exponential starting from 0 going to Q like this. This kind of graph will be there. Okay. It is charging. We call it charging because charge was 0 and it is increasing. Charging of capacitor. What is the equation of such graphs? If you remember exponential graphs, then you know this will be always in the form of either e raised to power x or 1 minus e raised to power here not x, here it will be t. It will be of these forms. Let me tell you how to plot the graphs of this. How to write the equation for this. Graph we have plotted. How did we plot the graph? Just by knowing what is the final state, I have made the final state here, initial state here, and I will go from initial to the final state, but I will never touch the final state. I will touch the initial state and I will start from there, but I will never touch the final state. That is the rule. It will keep on becoming closer and closer to the final state, but it will never touch it. Always it will be like this only. Let us say I have a circuit where this I had already charged it up to potential V, but now I did something different. What I did, I have here another battery here, and that battery has potential difference of 2V, and there's a switch. So this is switch 2. First, what I did here, first I had closed switch 1. Long time has elapsed. After elapsing of long time, it has almost acquired what charge? Almost CV. It will never acquire CV. CV it will acquire at t tends to infinity.
Infinity.
But
sir.
But when it reaches nearly 99.9%, then or more than 99%, then we assume it to be almost reaching the final state only. We assume it has attained CV. Let us say it has attained CV, but soon it will be in a new circuit now. As switch S2 will be closed. First S1 was closed, then S2 is also closed. Now what happens? If I have to now, or let me make
Again,
a
it
new
will
circuit
start
diagram.
charging. Sir.
Let us say it was already there, and this new switch is only existing, and it is closed at t equal to 0. What would be the graph? Tell me now, what would be the graph? Initial charge is? What is initial charge in this already?
CV.
Series. Sir.
Initial charge is
CV, sir.
already CV. So let me draw that initial charge CV. This is just line representing initial. Similarly, what is the final one? Final one after long time will be
2 CV.
2 CV. Will it be in the same direction or different direction? That also we have to be careful. Plus,
Same, sir.
minus. That battery also in the same way, plus, minus. So same direction. Therefore, I have taken both in same side of the axis. If one charge is positive and other is negative, then 2 CV may be taken in opposite side also. It is possible sometimes, right? Now, the graph. What would be the graph? Start from initial value, where we have to start. Start from this place, then go towards 2 CV, but don't touch it. Go this way, smoothly, monotonically increasing function, like this. This is the graph. Let me take another case. Another case will be that I am reversing the polarity of the battery this time and making it 2V. Same circuit diagram remaining. Capacitor, it is again switch, which is closed at t equal to 0. And this is R1, R2, capacitance C. And old battery was already, which was connected, that was V. Now, what would be the graph? What would be the graph now? It is Q and T. And here, initial value,
Minus series.
but final value will be
value.
opposite of that. Now, which one we should take opposite, which one we should take negative? There is no such a hard and fast rule. You can take any one as positive, any one as negative. Okay. Normally, if I give here plus and minus, it means I want to take this as positive. So this will be positive when V is when it is charged with V. Initial is positive then. What is initial volt? Initial is
CV.
CV. And final is
Minus
2
2 series.
CV, minus 2 CV. Pranav, you want to ask something? Pranav, you want to ask something?
No, sir. Accidentally.
Okay. Now, this is our, oh, sorry, I did opposite. From where we should start? Initial to final. So initial to final means I have to go from CV to, and never touch the lower graph, the other graph, the final one. It will keep on becoming closer and closer. And also don't curve it upwards. It will not go upwards. It will just keep on becoming closer and closer. Okay. This is the graph. So you have come to know how to plot the graph, but it is not sufficient. I want to plot few more graphs. For example, let us start from the beginning. I want to plot current versus time graph also. I versus T graph. Again, same thing. What is the initial value? What is the final value? Always we will do this thing only. Initial and the final. That's it. Can you tell me what is the initial current just after closing the switch? What is the initial current just after closing the switch?
V by R.
Very good. How do you know that it is V by R? Reason is,
Capacity.
in transient state, capacitor behaves like cell if it is charged, and
Conducting
it
wire.
behaves like conducting wire if it is uncharged. So as soon as we close the switch, the steady state gets disturbed and there is a transient state. And in transient state, it has initially zero charge. If it has initially zero charge, then it will be behaving like a conducting wire. If it is behaving like a conducting wire, then potential difference across R will be V. So current will become, as you said already, V by R. Right? So let me write it down here. V by R is the initial current. Again, initial, I am drawing this initial. And what is the final current after a long time?
Zero.
Final current you already know is
Zero.
zero. Yes. Oh, sorry. This is a graph again. Exponential. So all exponential graphs have this simple thing that we have to start from initial and we have to go towards final. These graphs will always be between two lines. One will be initial line, one will be final line. These two parallel lines I will draw, and then I will make the graph from one to the other. This line was not actually necessary. This initial line, it is never required. We can just, because initially what I can do, initially I can take just one point and I can start making it approach towards the final one. I can do that. I may not even draw the initial line. So if initial line is not plotted somewhere, you don't worry about it. But I don't know. I think it is easy for the students to understand that it will always be existing between two lines. So that's why I plot the initial line also. Okay. What about the graph for the second case? Try to make the graph for the second case of current. Current. Now here again, you may ask me, sir, which current? Because there is not a single branch here. How many currents are possible? One current is possible, I through the main battery V voltage. Second current is possible. Second current is possible, which is let us say, and direction also matters. Which direction you want to take? Let us take direction of the second one. Which you want to take here? Tell me, this side or upside?
Downward on
Downside.
Downside only.
Downward.
Let us take downside I1. And what you want to take in capacitor then? Now we have no choice. It is I1, then it will be I plus I1 only. I plus I1 this side, right? Now let us plot the graph of I1 also and I also, and if possible, I will plot for I plus I1 also. Current flowing through the capacitor also. Let us do it. You think by the time I will be doing it, you think about it, what it would be. I'm doing it slowly. Now, slowly I gave you time so that you could do in this time. Did you think about it? What could be the graphs I and I1 and I plus I1, or it is current through the capacitor. IC, I'm saying IC, current through the capacitor. Current through the capacitor after steady state will definitely be 0. So I already know what would be the graph of current
Start
through the
from 0.
capacitor. Even without anything, I can directly say it will be like this, or it could be like this. But finally, it will be reaching the time axis, because finally in steady state the current has to be 0. What is the value of initial current? Initial current was 0 here. How do we know it was 0? Because already there was no switch here. It was already connected like this. Means this capacitor was already initially charged. Initially it was already having charge CV. So there was no current initially flowing in this. So I hope you understand that here I have to take I initially as 0. Then I will, maybe I have to take red color to represent that initial line here. Little. This is initial. Okay, finally, let us say it is going here. And is it going downside or upside? That also finally, are you able to tell? Now this is, I think, somewhat difficult for you. Understand what is the final circuit diagram after a long time. Let me make this circuit diagram after a long time. I'm copying it and again making it here. But this time I will make the final
In
circuit
opposite
diagram only.
direction, current will be.
Final circuit diagram will be having current flowing in opposite direction, correct only. And finally, I can remove this circuit after a long time, and this switch will be already closed. So you make the final diagram, then it will be easy for you to understand the things. So always, whenever you have to solve these questions, it will be good in the beginning, especially, that you start making the diagrams, final diagrams. This is at t tends to infinity diagram. At t tends to infinity, equivalent diagram. Now, in this diagram, it is simple to solve. Is it easy or not? What would be the
Yes,
current
sir,
here?
V by
Current
R1
will be
plus
like
R2.
this way. Yes, net battery is 2V minus V is the net potential difference, and it is right. What you said is right. That is right only. Okay. So
Right.
final current we know, but this current is of opposite to the direction in which I wanted I to be. I wanted I to be in this direction, and it is coming out to be in opposite direction. So if the person asks you now, examiner has given his arrows in this direction and he's asking what is the current flowing in this direction, then understand that current I have to take as negative with negative sign. Therefore, I have taken the final one below the time axis. So while I started making these diagrams here, I was already aware of this fact that finally it is becoming negative. So I took it here like this. Next, what would be the value? Value will be
V by R1
V divided by
R1 plus R2.
R1 plus R2. And how the graph will be then? The graph will be from initial to final value, trying to approach that, but never touching it. This way. This is the graph. So one graph is plotted already. Try similarly to plot I1 graph. I1 also we can plot from where? From here only. This same diagram luckily helps us in both. What is initial value of current here? Just after closing the switch. Just after closing the switch, what would be
V
the
by
current?
R, V by R2.
V by R2,
V by R2.
V by
It becomes
R2.
like charged capacitor voltage V.
Now I think I need little more space here. You are not saying right answers because this diagram is for which case? T tends to infinity diagram. Let us make another diagram which is at t tends to 0. What is the equivalent diagram for t tends to 0? At t tends to 0, our
I is
equivalent
equal to
diagram will
0.
be
Capacitor will be acting as that.
this capacitor will be acting like a
Cells.
cell because it is a charged capacitor. It will be acting like a cell of potential difference V. This is initial situation, right?
Yes, sir.
And now
will be
let us
0.
take this switch to be here closed here. This is closed at t equal to 0. Now you solve it like normal circuits. If you are good in those circuits, then you can understand. I take in sometimes reference. You can do all those things which you used to do there. It is V here. This reference is here also 0. Then this is V here. This reference is here 0. This will become here 2V. What is the potential difference appearing across this? 2V minus V. The current I1 will be 2V minus V divided by R2. So what it would be?
V by R2 only, sir.
You said that only, it seems, right? You were right only then. Very good. I'm really happy to know that you were right only. V by R2 you said, and it is V by R2 only. Correct. And what would be current here? It will be 0. Why? This side V, this side V. So potential difference is 0. And 0 by R1, this current will be 0. So just after closing the switch, this current is 0. And this current is, as you said, V by R2. So, and direction positive or not? I have taken this direction to be downwards.
Yes, sir,
And we are
positive,
getting
sir.
in the same direction only. Then I have to plot the graph again now. Let me do that. What I have to take initially? What was it? V by
V by
R2.
R2.
V by R2.
And finally after long time is
V
V
by
by
R1 plus
R2.
R2.
this circuit. This is long time. And at long time, this current we already know that is
V by
Equal
R1
to-
plus
V
R2.
by R2 plus R2.
V by R1 plus R2.
V by R1 plus R2. And direction
Positive.
R2 only, sir.
positive. Direction is positive. So now we can do it. And this goes in this way. So it is V by R1. And this one is
R2,
V
sir.
by
V by R2, sir.
R2, correct. And this is V by R1 plus R2. Finally, this is the graph. Okay. This graph is also plotted. And how we plotted, what we need to know before plotting these graphs. We need to know here what is I1 just after closing. In this, what is I1? So here, let me write the values also actually so that you will understand. I1 at t equal to 0. Let us call it I1 0. I1 0 is 2V minus V upon R2, which is V by R2. And what is I1 infinity? That we get from this infinity diagram. At infinity, I1 infinity.
V by R1 plus
This
R2.
is I1. And this current is minus I. Notice here what I'm doing. This I'm writing as I1, but this I'm writing as minus I. Although these are same, I1 is also equal to minus I. But why I'm writing it as minus I? Because I in the question was given in this direction, but our current is arrow is in opposite direction. So I can say if this current is I, then this current is minus I. So I can also say here that it is also equal to minus I at infinity because these are both same representing same current. And this current was equal to V divided by R1 plus R2. Here also, what was I at 0 minus I 0? At 0 means time 0. That was equal to, in this case, V minus V upon R1, and that is 0. So while we go to this graph, before that, we should have done this work. And before doing this work, what work we should have done? Equivalent diagram work. Are you remembering the steps? First is equivalent diagram at t equal to infinity, and equivalent diagram at t equal to 0. At t equal to 0, the equivalent diagram. This is our first step. After equivalent diagram, what I need to calculate, find from there? Just the values of the variables for which we want to plot the graph. If I want to plot a graph for I, then find out I value. If I want to plot a graph for, let us say, voltage across R1, then for that also it will work in the same way. I have to just always take initial value, final value, and I have to smoothly connect the graph. So can you tell me what is for potential difference across R2? I think same. If I1 is known, then I1 into R2 also can be plotted. What will be the shape of I1 into R2 graph? It will be exactly same shape. Just what changes will be it make? This will get multiplied by R2 here. This will get multiplied by R2 here. But the graph will be of same shape. It will be of same shape only. Okay.
Okay.
Right. One thing is still pending here. What about this? IC.
Sir, V by R2 to 0, sir.
IC, initially it was, this I1 is also equal to IC, I think initially, right? I1 is also equal to IC because this current only goes through this. So I can say this is also equal to IC. IC is also, IC at 0 is also equal to this.
V by R2 to 0, sir.
Yes, V by R2 to 0. So let me do this last work also. It is now V by R2 to 0. This one, and let me connect it smoothly. This is the graph, V by R2 to 0. Okay. Next, what was this graph representing? Q versus T.
Polarity
Okay.
reverse.
The polarity. This is a separate question, I think, right? It is solved example.
Yes, sir.
It is solved example. So let me write it as example number 3. Example number 3. In this example, polarity was reversed, but method remains same. This I'm leaving for you. Can you do it yourself now? What would be the initial current here? Okay, tell me what will be I1 value here. Let us take it as I1. This as I again, and this as
3V by R2, sir, I1.
Yes, sir.
I1 will be
3V by R2.
initially, it is V,
Yes,
it
sir,
is a
3V by
2V,
R2,
so
sir.
3V by R2. Minus or plus?
Minus, sir.
Minus, sir.
Minus 3V by R2. Yes, because I1 I have taken in downward direction, but it is minus 3V by R2, correct. What about IC? Same initially?
Yes,
Sir, up to 0.
IC
Minus
is
3V
equal
At
by
t
R2
equal to
is
0, same only. At t equal to 0, IC will be same. What about I initially?
0.
0 initially. So initial values of these three we have already obtained. Let me write those values quickly here. I1 at 0 and IC at 0. And while I'm saying 0, actually I'm not saying appropriately. I should say appropriate word is 0 plus, because just after t equal to 0. If I say just 0, then I can say 0 minus also. 0 minus means when the switch was open. So when I'm saying 0 here, I am meaning actually 0 plus. 0 plus means just after 0. Okay. Anyway, I10, IC0, and I0. What is I10, IC0, and I0? I10, as you said, 3V by R2. IC0 you said already 3V by R2, and I0 you said 0. These three are drawn. But again, we cannot
Minus.
Sir,
we
I1
cannot
minus,
write
sir.
these.
I1 and IC minus, sir.
What? Which will be minus?
I1 and
I1 will be minus. Yes, minus.
and IC also.
IC also, sir.
IC also minus, correct. IC also minus. So, but again, you can do this only if you are first clear with this diagram. What is the initial circuit diagram? This is initial diagram, right? This is initial diagram. So you should first know how to draw. The initial diagram is same, except here this 2V is changed to minus 2V. And then we know what would be the answer. It will become here minus 2V minus V by R2. So it will become minus 3V by R2. That is how we are getting this. What about t tends to infinity? I1 infinity, IC
I1 is equals
infinity,
to I7.
I infinity. I1 infinity will be
3V by R1 plus R2.
Minus 3V by R1 plus
Minus
R2.
3V by
Minus
R1.
3V by R1 plus R2.
3V minus 3V by
R1 plus
R1 plus R2. And
Plus
I
3V by
infinity will
R1.
be minus of I1 infinity.
Yes, sir.
And IC infinity will be always 0. This is not even required to be told. I already know that current through the capacitor in steady state will always be 0. Without even seeing the diagram, I can directly tell one thing at least. That is IC infinity will be 0. Then once you know this, you can again plot the graph. So I'm leaving it now. I'm not plotting the graph.
Sir, what still how I0 is 0, sir?
I0 is,
0.
yes, I have written I0, 0. Why is it 0? You are saying?
Yes, sir.
It is 0 because of the same old reason here. This potential difference across the capacitor was V, and this is V. So here potential V, here V minus V by R1
Yes,
will
sir.
be I. Okay or not?
Okay, sir.
See, this your doubt is genuine. That's why I said you don't do this. Although I was also feeling maybe I should make the graph once again. Make this habit. What is our first step? Step 1 is to make the graph. Make the diagram. Step 1 is to make the diagram. Which diagram? Two diagrams in fact. Diagram for T0 and diagram for T infinity. This is our first step. Then step 2 is which I have written here. This is step 2. Then after that, step 3, no student commit mistakes after step 2. I have seen students commit mistake either in diagrams or in step 1, step 2 maximum, but never in step 3. Step 2 to step 3 is easiest. And they don't commit mistake in equations also. That is step 4. Let me tell you how to write the equations. So please be aware that step 1 should be carefully done. If step 1 is done properly, then no mistakes will be there. What I want to do now, I want to tell you how to write the equations. Let us say charge versus time. Any other, this is not related to the previous questions. I am taking example again, fresh example. To write equations. It has nothing to do with the previous questions. It is just a new question, new diagram I make, new situation I'm giving. Let us say we have a charge which varies from initial value Q1 to final value Q2. It will be wise to take multiple copies because I need it for different cases. Our time will be saved. Yes. In one case, I will take this side also. So let us say the charge varies from initial value Q1 to final value Q2. Initial value Q2 final, this one, and this one is initial Q1. Or this one is Q1 and this one is Q2. All these possibilities are there, right? Now I can write it as minus Q1 here because it is below, so I could write it as minus Q1. Now I have to write the equation for this. First of all, graph. What would be the graph? If you know initial and final values, you can plot the graph easily. So in first case, what would be the equation? Exponential I have to plot. Exponential graph. These are all exponential graphs. I think it will be easy if I don't give this first, but instead of that I give you. I should have given you this. I'm bringing down. First case, I'm taking charging and discharging. Simple case, simple charging and simple discharging. Simple charging circuit will be having this graph, and simple discharging circuit will be having this graph. It is going from 0 to some final value q, and it is going from initial value q to final value 0. This q is at q infinity, but this q is there at 0 time. Let us write it as q 0. I just remember in this way that if I have to write this equation, I will write q is equal to, I remember the multiplication factor here. With what multiplication factor we should multiply? Here we should multiply with multiplication factor e raised to power minus t by some constant, time constant tau. Are you aware that the power of exponential should be dimensionless?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, to make this power dimensionless, what I have done here, I have divided time with some constant whose dimensions are also equal to same as dimensions of time, so that this quantity is dimensionless. So this decay graph will always be represented by e raised to power minus x multiplied by this thing. What is this thing here? This is equal to q naught. And what about here? In this place it is final q infinity, q at after long time. Here it is increasing, so I will multiply it by factor 1 minus e raised to power minus t by tau. I will multiply with this factor. While it is increasing, we multiply by this factor. You have to just remember this part. And if you are doubtful why should we multiply by this factor, you observe it once. If I put t0, what do I get? If I put t0, I get 0.
1.
And if I get t infinity, then this will become 0, but 1 will
1
remain.
will get.
So I will multiply q infinity by 1, so I will be getting q, right? So you can understand it quickly once I write the equation. Q will be equal to, in first case, q infinity into the factor. What factor gets multiplied?
1 minus
1 minus e power
1
minus
minus
e power minus
power
t.
minus
1 minus e raised to power minus t by tau. Second case.
Sir, doubt.
Yes.
In first case, can't we write in terms of tan inverse x, sir?
No. That we cannot write because I know what this graph is like. I have solved the equations which I have not made you solve till now, and I'm going completely backwards, fully backwards. Normally, what is our procedure? Usual procedure will be to first write KVL. From KVL, get the equations. From equations, get the graph.
Okay.
But I'm going backwards. First graph, from graph the equations, and then KVL. We never have to even write the equation also for KVL. So because I know already, I have already derived these and I know these graphs will be exponential. So you just follow my lead only now that these are exponential. Okay. But why these are exponential? That why I told you in the beginning. If you have some patience, then you will understand this properly. Don't worry about it. And trust me that this will be exponential. We can prove it very easily. At last, I will prove it. Okay. But for the timing, you just believe it to be true and just start understanding how to solve the questions. So I'm giving you a quick method to solve the questions without having to worry about the equations. Okay. Without worrying about KVL. But obviously, all your queries will be answered after some time only. So you have to be patient till that time. Q is equal to Q naught into, again, what it would be?
E power minus
E
t
raised
by
to power minus t by tau. It will be that. Next. So I think easy to remember or not? Easy to remember. See, this gap, remember this gap multiplied by this factor. What is the gap here? Gap is Q infinity minus 0. What is this gap here? This gap is Q at 0 minus 0. Okay, into e raised to power minus t by tau. What would be the equation here? Q1 is nothing but here Q1 is equal to Q0 and here Q2 is equal to Q at infinity. Okay. Again, what would be the multiplication factor? As I told you that if it is decreasing graph, then minus t by tau, and if it is increasing, then it will be e raised to power minus t by tau. Always like that, increasing e raised to power minus t by tau. But here, sorry, increasing means 1 minus e raised to power. I have done wrong. 1 minus e raised to power minus t by tau. This is decreasing. Yes, right. Sorry, I did wrong. But one thing I want to tell here, what was our original decreasing graph? Original decreasing graph was decreasing up to t. It was decreasing up to the time axis, right? First, you remember this.
Yes, sir.
Have you learned this or not? What is our rule? Gap, this gap between initial and final. I can say it is like delta Q mod multiply by this factor. This is also delta Q mod multiply by this factor, increasing factor. Okay. Same way here. What is delta Q? Delta Q or not delta Q, it is delta Q mod. I don't worry which is initial, which is final. I will take just difference. Here Q1 is greater and Q2 is smaller. So the difference will be Q1 minus Q2. This is the gap. Gap multiplied by multiplication factor. Similarly here, the gap is here Q2 is bigger, Q1 is smaller. So this gap will be equal to Q2 minus Q1. Gap multiplied by multiplication factor. But with shift here, what is the graph shifted from the time axis? Where this graph is shifted? See, this graph is shifted by this amount.
Q2 by Q2.
And this graph is shifted by Q1. So our equation will be if this form of this form,
Plus
the
Q1
gap
plus Q2.
into multiplication factor into multiplication factor plus the shift, plus or minus the shift, depends on whether we are shifting up or we are shifting down. So it will be plus or minus the shift. For example, here we are shifting Q down, Q1 down. So it will be taken minus Q1.
Minus Q1.
It will be taken minus Q1. Already there is a minus Q1 here. Don't take minus or minus Q1, then it will become wrong. Okay, it will be taken minus Q1 because it is shifted downwards. Now, come here then. What is the equation for the first case? Case 1. Q will be equal to the gap Q1 minus Q2 multiplied by multiplication factor. Multiplication factor is e raised to power minus t by tau. And here shifting up or down? This is positive
Up,
shift.
sir.
This is shifted positive side. What is the value of that shift?
Q2.
That shift is
Q2.
equal to Q2. So plus the shift plus Q2. Always like this we will do. Okay. Then here it is shifted by a Q1. And here it is shifted by we can say minus Q1. Okay. So what would be the graph in the last case? Let us plot this one only now. Minus Q1 is the shift. Multiplying factor is 1 minus e raised to power minus t by tau. Tau is just a constant. I will tell you what this constant means. It has same dimensions as that of time. Then we have one more gap. What is the gap here? Gap is now Q2. Tell me gap. What is this gap?
Q2
Q2
plus
Q1.
Q2
Yes,
plus
this
Q1.
Q2
this is
plus
magnitude
Q1.
of the gap. This is always magnitude of the gap. So you have to take proper magnitude, that is Q2 plus Q1. Right. This is equal to Q value. And if still some doubt remains whether this equation is right or not, if your doubt remains, I'm telling you a very simple tip. Do one thing. Find the value at t0 and find the value at t infinity. If this equation satisfies just for two places, for t0 and for t infinity, then definitely this equation is right only. It cannot be wrong. For example, what should be the value at t infinity? At the t infinity, the value should be Q2. Are we getting Q2 or not? At
Yes,
t
sir.
infinity,
Yes,
this
sir.
becomes 0. Q2 plus Q1 minus Q1, and we are getting Q2. That is correct. At t tends to 0, the value should be
Q minus
Minus
Q1.
Q1.
Minus Q1, sir.
minus Q1. Are we getting that or not?
Yes, sir.
Let us check once. T0 means it is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. And this first term becomes 0, this total term. And then we are getting minus Q1, correct only. Once we are satisfied at 2 points, then always it will be right. It cannot not be wrong graph. Okay. Similarly, you can check here also. You can check here at t tends to
Zero, then
0.
one,
What
sir.
we are getting? 1.
Q1,
And at t tends to infinity,
Q2.
Q2. Right. Q2 we are getting. Fine only. Now, one graph is pending. Can you write the equation for this graph? What is
Q1
the
minus
equation?
Q2 into 1 minus
You said Q1 minus Q2, but I think it
Q2
will not
Q2
be
minus Q1. sir.
Q2 minus Q1.
To 1 minus.
1 minus e power minus t by
1
tau
minus e raised to power minus t by tau
Plus Q1.
Plus Q1.
plus Q1.
So it's same as
Plus-
first equation, sir.
We will come to know. I think that all these equations may be same also. That I will tell you now. Tell me what is the equation for the first case? And what is the equation for the second case? Is it same or different?
Same only, same only.
Same only? Are they same or not? Can we write it also like that or not?
same only.
So what is our equation is Q 1 means Q infinity it was. Q infinity minus Q0,
Not same.
not same or same?
Same only. Sir.
Same only, sir. First two.
E raised to power minus t by tau plus Q at 0. Understand here Q0 is no, it is not Q0. It's Q infinity. Which was Q infinity? This was Q0. Sorry, Q1 was Q0.
This side one, sir. The right side one.
Right, son. Right. It was for right side. No, it is Q0. Let us say it is Q infinity, and this is Q infinity. This is the equation we are getting, right? Or I could write Q0 into e raised to power minus t by tau plus Q infinity into
Minus
1 minus e raised to power minus t by tau. This is what we are getting. Is it right or not?
Yes, sir.
Now come to the first case. This case. What was our equation in this case? Notice what we are getting. Superimposition of these two. Q0 into e raised to power minus t by tau. Q infinity into 1 minus e raised to power minus t by tau. And here what we are getting? Just superimposition of these two. Q0 into e raised to power minus t by tau. And Q infinity into 1 minus e raised to power minus t by tau. So it is like case of discharging. It is case of charging. But here it is, we can say superimposition of these two will happen when our initial value, when the graph is not touching the time axis or it is not finally approaching the time axis, then this thing will happen. And what about the third? Third one is also same, I think. It cannot be different. I know that. What is the third one? Is it same or different?
They're also same only.
Difference, sir.
Minus Q1 is here equal to Q0, remember.
Difference.
Minus Q1 is Q0. And here Q2 is equal to Q infinity. And Q1 I can write as minus of Q0. So if I write it as, I can write as Q infinity minus of Q0 whole into 1 minus e raised to power minus t by tau, and then last
Minus Q0.
minus Q minus or plus Q0
Q0.
plus Q0. Then it becomes finally Q infinity into 1 minus e raised to power minus t by tau plus Q0,
Q
wait.
infinity
which is Q infinity,
T power minus T by T.
plus
Which
Q
is-
infinity will come.
plus Q infinity we will write. You're confusing me. It is right only. What is wrong?
Correct one. Plus Q naught into
Plus Q naught into e raised to power minus t by tau. Right only. That only.
1
Right or
plus e power plus 1, sir.
No, that only. Just that only.
right only. Right only.
Check it properly. It is that only, and always it is like that only. See, you check any one of these equations. These are same only, no? Here I have taken Q naught first and Q infinity later on. That causes confusion or what? But it is same. This sum of these two terms. So now onwards, this equation will be too easy for you to write down. You can write it from the graph, or you can write it without the graph. What you need to know? Just you need to know initial value and final value of charge. One side initial value of charge and final value of charge, I can write the equation. Same way, luckily for all other cases also. I will be equal to similarly I at infinity into 1 minus e raised to power minus t by tau plus I at 0 into e raised to power minus t by tau. Similarly, voltages, whatever they have given, voltage across capacitor or voltage across any resistance in that network, voltage across capacitor at infinity into 1 minus e raised to power minus t by tau plus voltage across the capacitor at 0 into e raised to power minus t by tau, always like that only. Similarly, so you can write the equations. What you need to know to write the equations? Just two things: initial value, final value. Have you? Do you know how to find out the initial and the final charges? That is what we have done before. What was our work here? Here we were doing this thing only. We were just finding the initial values and final values. Okay. One last thing I want to add here. You still don't know what is time constant, because how to find this tau value? Answer will not be given in terms of tau. There will be some value of it in terms of resistance and capacitance. This part is pending. So I am now telling you to determine time constant, tau. What we need to do? We need to simply take one thing only. We have to take capacitance as take this as this. What does it mean? To determine time constant, take this as this and solve the circuit.
Conducting wire.
Yes, let me write down properly. Means take cell battery as short circuit. Short circuit also means conducting wire. This is what we are going to do. And then we will solve the circuit and we'll get the time constant. I will start with a very simple circuit first, the simplest of all. One resistance, one capacitance connected to a battery. Tell me, what is the time constant of this? To find its time constant, what I need to do? First of all, I will take battery as short circuit. What we are left with? Single R and single C. Then let me tell you, time constant is nothing but R into C. What is time constant? It is to be learnt. You may have, I know you may have this query. Why is it R into C? Don't worry, I have not solved the equations yet. When I will be solving the equations by KVL properly, deriving these equations, you will come to know why the time constant comes out to be equal to R into C. But for the time being, you just learn it. Time constant is equal to R into C. Okay. But why I said all this stuff that takes cell as short circuit, and why I did not directly tell that it is R into C? Reason is, in complicated circuits, it is I have to find out first effective resistance. Sometimes it appears like this. There is one other R1, R2. Then effective resistance will become R1, R2 upon R1 plus R2. And that may be with capacitances, multiple capacitances, C1, C2.
1 plus C.
Effective capacitance will
C1
become
plus C2.
C1 plus C2. Then effective RC will become effective R multiplied by effective C. So that is our idea why we find. Sometimes we cannot determine time constant. In which circuits we cannot determine? Let me tell you. For example, you are solving this circuit, and while you are solving, you have taken battery like short circuit. Everything is done properly by you, but you got situation something like this. This one, and wait, this one I cannot write it here, and maybe this one. And can I say this resistance is in parallel with this? I cannot say anything, right? It is neither in parallel nor in series. Then can I convert it into a single resistance? I think I cannot convert, because these are neither in parallel nor in series. So I will be stuck here. I will not be able to convert it into a single resistance. When we are not able to convert it into a single resistance, then I cannot get R effective and I cannot get C effective sometimes when the resistances are neither coming in series nor in parallel. And in that case, we cannot find the time constant. And when we cannot determine the time constant, we have no way to solve it directly, but we have to start solving by writing KVL. And time constant may not be defined also. It may not be defined sometimes. So I will give some examples of such cases also. But before that, simple cases, which are 90% of the sums. 90% of the sums will be of simple cases. 99% in fact, when the time constant will be properly defined. 99% case will be like that only. So one other example, last example only, which was that first example, this one here. Let me take it again from here. And put it in this place. What I want now, I want to make time constant diagram. What is the diagram for the time constant? Diagram for the time constant is take battery like a short circuit. This is diagram to determine time constant of a previously taken question. So battery is taken like a short circuit. Now tell me, what would be the time constant for this? The other battery also, sorry, I forgot to take second battery also like a short circuit. In fact, let me do one thing here. You will not remember which question we are talking about. So I will take here. First, I will take the battery also. After that, I will draw again the diagram for determining time constant. Determine tau. So to determine the time constant, what I need to do, I will take battery like short circuit, second battery also like short circuit, and then this way I will connect, this way I will connect, and here R2 is remaining. R2 cannot be taken like short circuit. This is the equivalent diagram. replace
Battery with
this thing by this thing. That's it. Simple. Now, once we have done this, next I don't need currents here. I don't need all these things. This is not required. Current is not required. I just need to find out. No need of polarity also. No need of all this stuff. Now, what about R1, R2? Are these in series?
Parallel.
These are in parallel. You can tell
Parallel,
why?
sir.
Parallel.
Because one side 0, other side V, and no, not like this, sorry.
0 so there.
This is also 0 because it's same
They're also zeros.
from here to here, same. And this is V. This is in parallel with that, so I can write it as R1, R2 upon R1 plus R2. Equivalent diagram will be this.
Into C.
In series with C, and then this whole will be now a closed loop. Finally, it will be like this always. Finally, it will be like a closed loop here like this. Single R, single C. So what is the time constant then? Once we are getting single R and single C, then multiply this.
R1, R2, C by R1.
R1, R2 upon R1 plus R2 multiplied by C. This is the time constant answer. We are getting the time constant. And once we know the time constant, then all those equations which you have written before, this will now make more sense because answer will be in terms of R1, R2 and C. It cannot be independent of those values. Answer will be in those terms. Okay. Now, done. Situations may change, but every time this thing we should not forget. To determine time constant, replace this by short circuit and we will get the time constant. Okay. One more example, multiple time constant example. Sometimes we have multiple time constants possible in a circuit. One capacitor and resistance R1, C1, another R2, C2. And both are connected to a battery. And this is the switch which is closed at t equal to 0. Observe here, I can write KVL equation separately for the lower circuit or not without having to worry about the upper circuit. Why? Why we can write separately for this part easily? Although the current gets divided, here current is I1 and here current is I2 and here current is different, that is I. But I never have to use this current. In our equation, this current will not appear. Why will it not appear? When we write KVL equation here, then there is no resistance in this part. Is there any resistance in this part? No resistance, right?
No resistance.
Is there no if there is no resistance in this part of the circuit, this is ideal battery, then because it is the ideal battery, so I will not appear in our equation. What will be our equation like? Our equation will be, let us write one KVL equation. Here I will write equation also and you will understand how to write the equations. Just after closing it at t equal to 0, we will be getting minus plus. Start from here and write the equation. Plus minus. KVL in the lower loop. In lower loop will be V minus I2 R2 minus, what is the charge here? Let us say charge is Q2 minus Q2 divided by C2, and we are finally reaching in the same place, is equal to 0. In this equation, tell me, is there any I value written anywhere?
No, sir.
Not written. It does not depend on I. Similarly, I1, if I write the equation for the upper loop, what will be the equation for the upper loop? KVL for upper, not upper loop, I should say, what should I call it?
Short loop.
I mean to say this bigger loop, I can say maybe bigger loop, this bigger loop, KVL for bigger loop. Bigger loop, what we get for that?
V
We get
minus
V
I1 R.
I1 R1 minus, this charge will be here Q1 minus
Minus
Q1
Q1
by
by
C1
C1
is equal to 0.
equal to 0.
These two equations are perfectly independent of each other. We don't, and there are two equations and two unknowns. I1 and I2 are the unknowns, or Q1 and Q2 are the unknowns. I2 and Q2 are, we can determine, we can write I2 as dQ2 by dt. So there are two equations and two unknowns. But one thing, this equation is having one unknown only. What is the unknown of this equation? Only Q2. I2 is not unknown because I2 can be written as dQ2 by I2 is equal to dq2 by dt. That I can write and I can put it in this equation only. So it has one unknown, one equation. It has also separate unknown, separate equation. So therefore, these are independent of each other. In such cases, the time constant will be separately found as R1C1 for this upper part of circuit, and for the lower part, it will be separately R2C2. Separate for each part. So if you are confused that, sir, how do we know when it will be separate, when it will not be separate? Do we have to write the equation, then only we can tell? No, we can directly tell. Whenever ideal battery is connected in parallel with any number of branches, then those branches always we can take separately, and we can write this always equivalent diagram. We can write in this way: one battery, if it is ideal, only in that case, if it is ideal battery, then I can write this, and I don't need to worry about the other one. I can just remove also, and I can solve separately for R2C2. This we can always do whenever there is a ideal battery. Ideal is important here. If ideal battery is not there, some resistance is there, then what happens? Then I will get multiplied by that R, and that will also appear in our equation. Then these two equations will not be independent of each other. They will become dependent on each other. Okay. So multiple time constant example I have taken when ideal battery is connected in parallel with multiple branches. Next, when time constant is not defined, that also I can take. But before that, I want to take another example. Capacitance. This is here, and then this one. This one. C, R, and together they are connected to R, and this is the battery here. Can you determine time constant in this case? Let us try. First of all, what is our rule? We will short circuit the battery. Just after short circuiting battery, what we get? CR or C, and then this is equivalent diagram, right or not?
Yes, sir.
This is special example. This is difficult example and special example to determine time constant. To determine tau. Now we have a trouble here after this, I think. Can we solve it now? Let us check once. R. Can we convert it into a single? These R's, can I say these are in series? No, I cannot say that because there is a. Can I say these are in parallel? This R and this are not in parallel also. Then we are stuck here. We are not stuck here. We cannot do anything after this. But let me tell you one important thing here. Can I say that left-hand side diagram, this potential, whatever it is, let us say it is V dash. I can say at any instant of time, this will remain equal to this potential V dash. Is it right or not? I can guarantee that. Why? Think about it. Why?
Anti-symmetry, sir.
Not anti-symmetry. In fact, it is symmetry only, we can say. Why? These are in parallel with each other. I can take C and I can bring it here, and I can bring R below also. No problem in that. It will appear like that only because these are in parallel to each other, and in parallel, if there are multiple, I can shift their places
Ah,
also,
sir,
their position.
interchange.
It will not create any difference. Then R and R will come in series, and C will come in series. Like that, it will happen, right? And then we will see that this network is equivalent to this only. There is no difference at all. These are both are equivalent. If both are equivalent, then the potential difference across these will remain same at any instant of time. That will happen at any instant of time. The potential difference will remain same. Now, if we have come to know potential difference remains same at any instant of time, then what I can do here, I can replace it by this, and here I can replace it by R and R. Equivalent diagram. I'm making the equivalent diagram. This diagram may not be equivalent for all cases, all things. It is equivalent to determine just time constant. Now, obviously, if somebody is asking you what is the current in this, then that current we have to determine by first calculating IC and then calculating IR and then taking the difference, I will get I. For that, I will have to make the diagram look like this only. I cannot make any other equivalent diagram. But this diagram is good enough just to determine
Time constant.
time constant. Exactly. Just to determine time constant, it is good enough. Can we do always such tricks? No, we can't do. But can we do in this special case? Yes. Why? Because in this special case, this network is exactly same as this network. Then we can do that. Otherwise, we could not do that. So, or we can say these are just in parallel. I could switch their places. I could bring it R down and I can bring C up. I can do that. In fact, I can do this way also first. If you want, I can do this way also. And now after doing this way, I know if it is V and whatever this potential is, let us say it is V double dash. It is V double dash. But I know this capacitance will have V dash by 2 here also V dash by 2, here also V double dash by 2, here also V double dash by 2. Then this potential difference and this potential difference will remain same. Now I can remove this middle wire here. And I can say this capacitor current is IC. This can go through this same capacitor current IC, but this is different. It is IR, and this will be IR through the resistance part. Then it goes to R. Net current is IC plus IR, and then finally it is circuit like this. Now, can we solve these further now to get the time constant? Yes. C and C in parallel. C and C in series. What it will be?
C by 2.
C by 2. C by 2. Why I removed the middle one? You understand why I removed the middle wire? Because potential difference, it is like balanced bits on which it is, we can say potential difference here and potential difference here remains same at any instant of time. So this can be removed. That is the reason why I am able to remove it. Okay. I can remove this one. Next, C by 2. And what about below? Below it will be 2R. And in parallel with R also, then we will be getting C by 2 in parallel with 2R by 3, I think. Then what is the time constant finally?
RC
Time
by
constant
3.
is equal to R into C by
3.
3. This is the final time constant. R into C by 3. But we are able to do only this thing just because of one reason, that first of all we can shift the parallel positions, and after shifting the parallel position we can just remove this wire because the potential difference here and here is same, here and here potential difference is same. I can just remove it. I can say this current and this current will be same. Okay, we can say that. Could you remove this wire here itself by using some logic like this, that it is V dash, it is V dash, we can remove this here? Can you do that here? No. Why? What is the difference? The difference is this. If I say at any instant of time, potential here and potential here will remain same, V dash, V dash, then I can guarantee that this charge and this charge will remain same at any instant of time. Is it right or not? I can guarantee this charge and this charge will remain same at any instant of time. If these two charges are remaining same at any instant of time, then the
no
current
passes.
then the current flowing through this should be same at any instant of time. And if the current through this is same at any instant of time, then no current passes through this vertical branch. That is the reason why I'm able to remove the vertical branch. I could use the same logic here itself. This is V dash. This also remains V dash. Then this charge always remains equal to this charge. Then this capacitor current will always remain equal to this capacitor current. If these two currents always remain equal, and this current is again V by R, and this is also V by R. So this current again remains equal to this current. So this also gives me idea. It means there is some cross connection like this, and there's a cross connection like this. Means I can assume it to be in series with that, and I can assume it to be in series with this. This also gives us the idea. Somebody can do it directly here itself. But the diagram looks complicated if I do in that way. If I make it look like cross, it will look complicated. So first what I did, I shifted this up and brought R down, and then I applied this logic that as the charge remains same, then the current will remain same. If the current remains same, then no current will go through this vertical branch now. Then I can remove the vertical branch. Okay. All right. These cases are done. Now, last part is our you writing KVL equations. KVL equations. Let us write the KVL equations and then I will end this class. KVL equations for this circuit will be, I will send you the notes, don't worry. C R V, just now only switch is closed here. Then the current starts flowing. I is the current flowing here. What will be equation? Minus, plus, plus, minus, plus, minus. Charge is Q here. Then I can write I will be equal to dQ by dt. And if I start writing KVL equation, V minus IR minus Q by C is equal to 0. Then I can write V minus dQ by dt into R minus Q by C equals 0. Is it okay? What would be the value of dQ by dt? We can separate the variables. We can bring Q by C one side and then plus minus V. It is minus R here, I think. Then I can take R also that side. Then I will be getting dQ by dt is equal to Q by RC. V by R minus Q by RC. Then I can now take dQ divided by, or I can write it as CV minus Q. Yes, wait, just wait a second. How much time do we have? Little bit, you can at least 2-3 minutes more. Just 2-3 minutes more. CV minus Q is equal to what?
dt by
It is equal to dt divided by
Tau, sir.
R, right? Then now we can integrate this. What would be the limits of integration?
RC, sir.
RC, sir.
Sir, dt by RC, sir.
Limits of integration 0 to time t, because we close the switch at t equal to 0. If I close it at some other time, then I will have to write that time in the lower limit. What was the initial charge? Obviously 0. What will be the charge at a time t? I have to determine. So t, q and 0, 0. Okay. What we get next? Log of CV minus q divided by
minus 1.
CV
Sir, no.
minus 0.
Minus 1, sir.
What? Minus
Why
1
is
will be there. Is equal to T by RC. Then what we get next? CV minus Q is equal to, I think, CV into e raised to power minus T by RC. Is it right or not? What
Yes,
we get Q as? Q we are getting as CV into 1 minus e raised to power minus T by RC. What I told you before, it will be Q at infinity into 1 minus e raised to power minus T by RC. See, we are getting the same result or not? Now you understood why we are getting exponential, why it could not be tan inverse x or something, because we have derived it by KVL and it will be right only. You got the point now?
Similarly for discharging,
Similarly for discharging, similarly for the discharging circuit also, we can do it. Okay.
So once explain last charge step.
What? What are you saying?
So from last onwards, charge step.
I could not hear you properly. Can you say it again loudly?
From the last third step, doubt it seems.